we were talking about HAL, and since it's reported its earnings, Anushi has dissected them, and she's giving us more details on that. Anushi, what are you picking up?
Well, thanks for that, Mahima. So what we are seeing is 11% of growth in terms of revenue for HL. Now, this is in line with what the street expectation was concerned about 4,900 crore or also was the expectation, and we've seen about a 4,800 crore. So that is what is in terms of revenue that we are seeing. Of course, execution playing a part in this as well. Because if you look at the order book, that stood at 1.84 lakh crore. This was at the end of FY25 that we'd seen. This was an uptick of 95%. Other than that, it's a margins which is mainly a surprise. Now, if you look at the margins, they've expanded to 22.7% as against 19.3%, which is a 341 basis points of an improvement that we're looking at. Now, the expectation for margins was about flattish kind of a growth, so it's a beat on that front. However, we are looking at a dip in terms of where the net profit is concerned, with the net profit being down about 3.7%, and this is on account of impairment loss, which has impacted the net profit growth. Along with that, higher tax expenses also. Last year there was a tax refund which took place, which resulted in a higher base as compared to this year. What would be the key monitorables? Of course, the order book positioning, that continues to be the key focus. Other than that, deliveries to Indian Air Force in terms of the Tejas Mk1A is something that we should be watching out for. Update on GE engine supplies is also something that we've seen. There was an improvement in terms of how the supply scenario is panning out, but a further update on that is something that we should be seeing, and commentary on repeat orders of LCA, that's Light Combat Aircraft, Mark 1A, also remains in focus. So that's the overall picture that we are seeing for Hindustan Aeronautics on the basis of its first quarter numbers, which has come out.
Okay, thank you so much for breaking that down for us, Anushi. Kush, anything on the charts that you're seeing? The stock did recover post its earnings, but it's again come back to that red territory a tad bit. It did go 1% higher and it's coming off. Any trade there once now that the earnings are out? How are you seeing the charts?
Well, it doesn't really change much for me in the sense that, the downturn momentum that the stock has actually continues. Now, the only saving grace is that the day low for today is at the 200-day moving average. That's where the stock has rebounded from. Perhaps, from a near-term perspective, that's where the stock could halt its fall around the 4,300, 4,350 mark, maybe some accumulation. But I don't see an immediate spurt or an immediate recovery on this. If you want to start accumulating, perhaps 43, 43.50 would be a good zone, but that should be more of a positional trade, 6 to 12 month kind of a time horizon, not an immediate one.